Hi, I'm Wade Wiesling with the Oceanair Seafood Room, and today we're going to talk a little bit about oysters. We're in the Oceanair in Houston, Texas, and this is our fabulous raw bar right here. We feature dozens of beautiful oysters day in and day out. Now, shucking an oyster is really simple as long as you're prepared. You got to have one of these fancy doohickeys. It's called an oyster knife, okay? Oyster knife, and you got to have some oysters. So you obviously want to buy the oysters from the best source that you have possible. To shucking an oyster, there's really nothing scientific about it. You want to just find the back hinge to there, and you want to be careful using a towel to kind of guard your hand. Get the oyster knife in there and give it a twist, give it a pry, and get that top shell lifted off there. Then once that's done, you want to use the knife to kind of scrape the top of the shell off of the oyster. There's a connector in there. And it's right there. That connects the top shell to the oyster. Once you have that done, you want to take your knife and scrape it again to be sure that you get the bottom muscle lifted off there. Once it's done, you want to give it a flip to be sure that the oyster is free from the shell, and then it's ready for shucking, or excuse me, ready for slurping. How to eat an oyster. This is probably the most important part. I've seen a lot of people not do very well at eating an oyster, especially a lot of newbies. But I got a simple 3-step process that will guarantee you all that oystery goodness. First of all, you want to do is you want to pick up the oyster. You want to look for the nice lip where you're gonna slurp it from, because you want to be certain that once you tip it back and eat it, that you have all that oyster and all the juices can run properly down your mouth. So you find that little shell. I like to take my shellfish fork and kind of lift the oyster up to make sure it's clean from the shell, because again, you don't want to be stuck halfway there and have some oyster dangling from the oyster shell while you're trying to eat it. These are what we serve with our oysters. This is cocktail sauce, and this is a mignonette sauce. I'm a purist. The best thing that I like to do is a little fresh squeeze of lemon and a little fresh ground pepper. Once you have that, all you simply want to do is find your lip again, tilt it back, close your eyes, envision the sea. You don't want to swallow it whole necessarily, but you do want to massage it with your molars, release some of those juices, and get that first hint of oceany brininess. That's the best part of the oyster. And there you have it. That's all there is to shucking and eating oysters. Of course, you can always come to the Oceanair, and we're happy to shuck them for you, and we'll shuck as many as you can slurp down. And I'm Wade Wiesling with the Oceanair Seafood Room in Houston, Texas, and visit us at theoceanair.com.